Here we are. It's the Mike Lynn Memorial League 2024 pre-draft power rankings. We're eschewing a sponsor for these pre-draft rankings. So if you're interested in sponsoring the power ranking show this year, hit me up. I just didn't have the creative genius and inspiration to come up with a funny sponsor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review some trades. I'm going to review who you kept, and then I'm going to rank you because that's what I do. And of course, I'm going to be kind to some of you and unkind to others, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So let's get into it. Bunch of trades. I think I was involved in more than half of them. Zay Flowers and an eighth for a six. That was Matt to Todd. I like Zay Flowers. That's a good trade, Todd. Pacheco for Lamar Jackson. Pacheco, more value in other leagues than this one, but I do love him. I think he's going to have a big role. He had a great playoff run, but is non-PPR, touchdown heavy. It remains to be seen how effective he is in this league. And I'm keeping or restricting Lamar. So you can rip me for my quarterback trades later. Devontae and Tank Dell for Kyler. Another trade I made with Dave. The little midget quarterback to pair with Lamar. I'm probably downgrading from Hurts to Kyler, but I got a pick out of it in another trade. So there's a method to my madness, but I'm sure someone will tell me I didn't get enough value. And I'm sure it'll be Dave. Although that was a condition of our trade was for you to not shit talk my trading. Better at drafting than trading. All right. Ridley in a 14th for a 10. Todd and Dave. So Ridley ends up in Dave's second two, along with Devontae Smith. Tank is in his top three. We'll talk about that later. Pickens, a 15 and 16 for a 9 and a 14. That was me and Todd. So Pickens and Flowers are paired together. I like that second two for Todd. There was a trade in the first round. I'm not going to analyze all the other trades because they're of less consequence to me. But Dave and Todd did a deal. So round 1, pick 7. Round 2, pick 7. Round 10, pick 2. For round 1, pick 2. And then an 8, a 12, and a 16. I don't know. I don't know if I care enough about this, but like Dave moves down, he needed more picks. His team stinks. He wants to get better. Todd is like Howie Roseman. He doesn't give a shit about draft picks and he trades them all the time and then picks 19 times in the 18th round. And you know what? It usually works out for him. So who am I to judge? Rashad White for a ninth. That was Rob and Chad. I have a tough time buying the Bucks offense, especially now that they lost their OC again. More turnover there, but and then I traded Jalen Hurts in an 11 to Rob for a fifth. I just don't like Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator, and I think the relationship between Hurts and Sirianni is not good. So maybe that Eagles star-studded offense isn't going to be quite as effective as everybody thinks. At least that's my bet. For Rob, you upgrade a quarterback for a relatively low price. And then I traded Jaden Reed for a 10th to Chad. Wasn't going to keep him. So he goes, hey, next year, if you guys could just, this draft that's coming up, don't let me pick like 9 or 10 guys that are worth keeping. Some of you should pick those guys, and then I don't have to trade them away for pennies on the dollar for the draft. Deal? All right. Moving on. Here's who everybody kept. Adam, from 2 years ago winning the title to maybe some not great decision making on the keepers here. Keeping Etienne over Cook. Jefferson, obviously you keep. Garrett Wilson, I think you obviously keep, even though he's hasn't had a quarterback. But Najee Harris is bad, and you had Jordan Love. I don't get it. Chad, Stroud, obviously we hope he improves. Olave, I don't know how much he can improve because the Saints offense stinks, but you have to keep him. Rashad White over Devontae Adams. I might have paired White and Reed and taken Reed. I mean, you're getting Reed back either way. I might value Adams over White, but that's just me. Can't, but that's a coin flip. I kept Amon-Ra. I kept Jonathan Taylor. I kept Devon Achane. And then I restricted Jackson and Murray. I'll get Murray back. I like my top 3. I think Taylor is potential like league leader in rushing, although Richardson could certainly poach some touchdowns from him. So maybe that isn't a great bet. I could have traded him, but went this route. Dave, keeping Josh Allen, Tank Dell, David Montgomery. I love Tank Dell, but is it not as a top 3 guy? And then Montgomery, you got Gibbs. So like, are they going to have 2 first-round caliber running backs on their team? Again, probably not. And then you restrict Devontae Smith and Calvin Ridley. I would bet that you get Ridley back. But you never know in this league. I think this is a rebuild, big time. Jeremy, Mahomes, good. Breece Hall, excellent. Brandon Ayuk, that's tough. Obviously, you can't control the contract situation. Same thing that happened to me with Taylor last year, but I think that's a guy you put in your second two, and you probably get him back because everybody's afraid of the contract. Instead, you put Aaron Jones, who's 30 and is a running back, or 29, and Jaylen Warren, who is a scat back and gets half the carries. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Every year, that second two, there's someone who's diseased. Make a trade for somebody one time. Whoops. I'm skipping ahead. Okay, Justin, really strong top three. McCaffrey, Pacheco, A.J. Brown. The second two, you're getting a wide receiver 2 out of that. Evans or Watson, hopefully. I don't trust Watson, though. So I don't think you're getting Evans back. You're getting Watson back. And betting on him, I don't know. He hasn't been consistent. Matt, Burrow, Chase, Debo. For a second, I was like, Samuel. Not Curtis Samuel. You didn't keep Curtis Samuel. No, it's smarter than that. Kept Debo. And then Kincaid and Walker, I think you get Kincaid back. That's a strong team. Good start. Mike, you got Cheetah, you got Gibbs, you got Barkley. Here's the decision-making I don't understand. Why wouldn't you put Barkley in your second two with Kamara? You get Kamara back. And keep DJ Moore in your top 3. Instead, you put DJ Moore in your second two. Someone's going to take him in the first round. You get Kamara back. So 3 of your 4 guys are running backs. That's a tough spot to be in. And then you're not going to be able to trade Kamara for anything. So you're going to have to trade Barkley if he's good. And you're not going to trade Gibbs because he's awesome. I don't get it, dude. I would have gone the other way. Rob, keep in Bijan, Drake London, Jalen Hurts. You're welcome. And then Higgins and Metcalf. I think you get Higgins back. At least I hope you do. Metcalf, I think, is going to have a big year. So you're betting on the Falcons and Zach Robinson being the play caller there with Kirky boy. Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. I don't know, though. You hope that removing Arthur Smith from that equation leads to better results from a fantasy standpoint. I do like this team. Sean, keeping Kelsey, who's $1 million. Nico Collins, who I love. And then Josh Jacobs. Dude, the wheels are going to fall off there. I don't get it. I would have put Pittman Jr. in your top 3. And then Dak, whatever. So you're probably getting Dak back. So Dak, Kelsey, Collins, Jacobs, not the worst team in the world. I just don't love Josh Jacobs. I think he's totally overrated and is never going to be a top 10 fantasy running back again. Just my personal opinion. Todd, love Anthony Richardson. And so I'll be critical of the Derrick Henry keep because he's got Lamar. Like, I don't know about that, and he's old. Like, I just wouldn't keep a 29-year-old running back. But Richardson, Andrews, and then you're going to get back probably Pickens. Between Pickens and Flowers, that's a good start. I love Richardson. I think he's going to be an absolute beast. And then the defending champ, hope you're feeling better, Tom. CeeDee Lamb, Waddle, Laporta, as strong a top 3 as anybody, although obviously Waddle is meh, but a lot of upside there. And then where it's not as good, Keenan Allen is now wide receiver 2 on probably a worse passing offense than he was on last year. And Herbert. So you're getting Keenan Allen back, I would assume. So I just don't love the second 2, but defending champ and goated at this point. So hard to be critical of Tom's decision making in this process. So I ranked you into tiers. I didn't go 12 to 1. All right, we got tiers. So we're starting off with you might as well tank. Jeremy, I already talked about it. The Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren thing, I'm not going to be able to get over. All right, I don't know what your draft, and I did not account for draft capital when I put you into these tiers, so I didn't even look at what picks everybody has. I'm just looking at who you kept. So Jeremy, yeah, we know Mahomes, right? Paul, awesome. Ayuk, I'm sure will return to being very productive, but for one of your top 3 to have a big question mark and your second 2 to be basically not valuable beyond this year is tough for me. Dave, the Montgomery thing, just not doing it for me. And then Tank Dell is a top 3 player. I love him, but he's not going to be on the field in 2 wide receiver sets, right? You got Collins, you got Diggs. So you put in your top 3 a wide receiver 3. And then Sean, it's because of Jacobs over Pittman. Right. So the pretenders, Adam, Etienne over Cook, and then Harris in your second 2. Not doing it for me. I do think Wilson and Jefferson is enough. You're going to win plenty of games. It could probably be a contender, but for now, you're a pretender. Chad, just because I don't believe in the Bucs offense and White's in your top three. And then Reed, same situation as Tank Dell. Is he on the field in two wide receiver sets? Probably not. That's probably Watson and Dobbs, right? So wide receiver three there. And then Mike, just because three of your top four are running backs and you can't put them all, we don't have a flex. You can't put them all on the field. Okay, contenders, Todd, because of Richardson, basically just because of that. Because I don't think you're getting Flowers back, which you probably wouldn't want him back anyway, because you got Andrews, right? And then, your heavy Ravens. If you do get Flowers back, three of your top four are Ravens. That's a big bet on my favorite offensive coordinator in the league, who I'm going to forget his name, the former Georgia OC, former Army, his brother's an Army coach. Monken, Todd Monken, good coach. Okay, Tom, with Lamb, Waddle, Laporta, and then presumably Keenan Allen, you've got three good receivers and a good tight end. You just got to go find running backs and a quarterback. That's doable. Quarterbacks deep this year. And then you can probably find a capable running back, although it is a gamble to have no running backs at all among your top four guys. That's tough. But coming off a title, so tough to argue against it. Justin, if you weren't cursed, I could say contender with confidence, but we know how it goes. CMC, Brown, Pacheco, that's a great top three, and then you're probably getting Watson back. So if Watson busts like he did last year, that's tougher, but I think it's pretty good. Me, hey, I think I'm a genius, like I always do, but you guys don't, so that's fine. St. Brown, Taylor, Achane, Kyler is whom I'm assuming I'm getting back, unless someone wants to, bet on Kyler's end of his season being better than Lamar on a full season basis, which not a crazy bet. We'll see what that looks like. And then Rob, Robinson, London, Hurts, really strong top three with presumably Higgins back. Gotta wonder with Higgins he's playing on a tag, right? If he's going to be motivated. And then they added a pretty good rookie into the mix, and not that he has a lot of value, but I could see him overperforming, and that's Gesicki. So, is Higgins going to get the same level of targets to be a reliable starter? I don't know. So that's the thoughts. That's where I'm at. No particular order on any of these, just kind of tank, pretender, contender. And we'll try and do these. I always say it every year, but I am coaching sixth grade football, and it's pretty time consuming. And so maybe we'll do more. Hopefully I will after the draft. We'll come back to you with some more power rankings, hopefully in a short format. And I don't know how long this took me, but good luck to everybody at the draft. I don't know what we're doing. Hopefully we're getting together. And looking forward to another year in the best fantasy football league on the planet. Good luck to all of you. Bye-bye.